too. Nothing in the world I'd rather do than grab a hot dog burger and a cold beer. You'll hear me yelling out a big cheer, 'cause whether they win or whether they lose, I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks! I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. I can't wait to see a home run. I know for sure there's gonna be one. I'll call out the players by their first name. Sure am glad I made it to the game. Rain or shine, I'm gonna be there. If the stands are full, I'll bring a lawn chair. So join me down at the old ballpark. I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks! So join me down at the old ballpark. I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks!
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to game number 6 of the 2021 Hayes Larks season. This is Carson Ackerman on the call. You're tuned into Larks Network. Leading off for Hayes is Grant Lung. He takes this one to the opposite side of the field and lands at the third base spot. We'll pick it up and throw him out at first base. One pitch and one out for Carter Akerfield on the mound and the Colorado Sox. So to bring up Palmer Hutchison, today's starting third baseman, to the dish. Larks coming into this one 4-1, started the season off 4-0, and then lost yesterday after a 5-run eighth and then a walk-off single in the bottom of the ninth from the Colorado Sox. They're 1-1 in league play and obviously on a one-game losing streak. Hutchison in yesterday's game 3 for 5 with 2 doubles and scored 1 run. On deck for Hayes, Wyatt Davis with Cam Pearson in the hole for the Larks. Akerfield goes home. Hutchison takes this one on a line drive down the first base side and foul. 2 strikes on him. 1-2 count with 1 away and nobody on here in the top of the first. Akerfield's a righty out of Metro State University, and Hutchison is down on strikes. So they'll bring up the 3-hole, the DH out of UTA, Wyatt Davis. Davis in yesterday's ball game went 4 for 4 with 2 runs scored, and he drove in 3 runs. One of those hits was a double, another one of them. One of the other, he had 2 singles in his first 2 at-bats, then a double in the 4th inning, and then had a 2-run shot in the 6th. One of 3 home runs for the Larks in yesterday's ballgame. Still couldn't get the win as pitching just struggled in the last 2 innings. Akerfield delivers this one below the knees of Davis. 3 balls and no strikes to Davis. Akerfield's out of Littleton, Colorado. Previously played for Iowa Western Community College and has spent 3 years with the Roadrunners at MSU. In his last season with them in 2021 went 1-0 through 6 appearances, only threw 9 1/3, and had an ERA of 5.79. Davis takes this one to shallow left field, and moving in from the shortstop spot is Nunez. 3 up, 3 down for the Larks in the first inning. That'll send us to the bottom half as the Sox look to get on the board. Bottom of the first, we go here from Colorado. Trevor Munch making his first appearance of the 2021 Larks season on the mound, and his first delivery off speed in the zone on Jacob Grieving, leadoff hitter playing left field. This is Munch's third year with the Larks, the first one he starts out this season in Hayes. Tall southpaw goes from the windup, gets a swing and a miss. Good pitches off of Munch here early, 0-2 on Grieving. Munch is 6'4 junior, so has a year of eligibility left at the school of his choosing. Southpaw to Lawrence, Kansas. Last pitched for Wichita State University, where made one appearance and struck out one and walked two. Grieving in yesterday's ball game, 2 for 4 with a run scored. This one popped up and backwards out of play. Larks lineup defensively with Zach Henry in left field, Leo Jiminian in center, Grant Schmidt in right field, Hutchison playing the hot corner, Cord Jackson at shortstop, Grant Lung at second base, and Cam Pearson at first base, with Brock Loomis getting the start today behind the dish. Munch goes from the windup. This one is hit hard to center field, and he gets a bat flip out of Grieving, and the first batter Trevor Munch faces takes him deep to right field. So it's an early 1-0 lead for the Sox. Their third home run of this series. So Munch looked to bounce back after that. Munch last year with Hayes made 10 appearances, went 2-2 with a 3.95 ERA through 13 2/3 innings. Made 9 appearances in relief, started one game, and also picked up one save. So that'll bring up Nolan Ackerman, the first baseman. Ackerman struggled in the early part of the game, and they got back-to-back walks, finished 0 for 3 with 2 runs scored in the 9-8 win for the Colorado Sox, giving the Larks their first loss of the season. Grieving on that last one just thread the ball all the way to his bat and knew as soon as it left it was a home run. We're already seeing some internet issues here. Our internet providers did not activate our hotspots like we paid them to, so I'm using my own data plan and my personal phone, running that down with limited connection out here to try and give us some internet. We just don't have anything, and Verizon hasn't given us much. So we apologize for the technical difficulties, but we're working here to try and get something going, and for the first out of the bottom of the first. 1-0 lead, 1 away, base is empty for Roberto Nunez, the shortstop, who's moved his way up the order. Nunez yesterday batted 7th, went 2 for 4, drove in 4 runs on a grand slam. This one he sends up the middle. It's going to be between Long and Jackson, and the Sox have 2 hits. So Nunez at first with 1 away. That brings us to the cleanup spot, the third baseman, Ethan Lands. Lands yesterday batted 5th and went 1 for 3. Munch gets a strike in on this delivery. Munch committed to the Oklahoma Sooners coming out of high school, made 2 appearances in Norman and struck out 1 and allowed 2 earned runs. No decisions on his season there. They went to McLennan, who recently won a title this year. And at McLennan, he allowed 18 runs in 15 appearances, went 4-1, striking out 31, and had a strikeout per 9 innings rate of 12.68. Southpaw throws this one hard. It's fouled off. This one outside, and Loomis looks back Nunez to first. Munch was away from the team in the first week of the season, joined the Larks this week, and has made the trip to Colorado. Larks still missing 2 players on the roster, 2 guys still playing for Tennessee, and we wish them the best of luck as they continue to win and look for a College World Series title. Munch lands down on strikes. He's allowed 2 hits and 2 strikeouts, 1 earned run here through 2/3 of an inning. It'll bring up Maxim Fullerton, the right fielder. We also expect to see Jose Velasquez on the mound for Hayes. Velasquez was the original starter, and then some adjustments were made last minute. Off speed from Munch inside to Fullerton, the right fielder. Fullerton yesterday 2 for 5, struck out twice, and had 1 RBI. Luke Terabia got the start for Hayes yesterday, went 5 2/3, just 2 earned runs, and then 5 strikeouts. Castellucci came in relief, struck out the last batter of the 6th inning, and was looking good, and then things just fell apart for the Larks pitching staff. Castellucci and Riggs came in relief of Terbeek, and Riggs picked up his first loss of the season. This one lined back at Munch, and Fullerton tries to break his bat over his knee and this time he's successful and gets some cheers from his dugout. But just a nice pitch from Munch. Anytime you can get a broken bat like that, you know you're doing something right. The off-speed fools him, hits off the inside of his bat, and is lined softly and Munch for out number 3. Sox get a run off the home run to lead off the first. We go to the second. Hayes down 1-0 on Larks Network. Top of the second, we go here from Evelyn High School, home of the Colorado Sox, using their high school field as their facility. Camp Harrison will lead it off. Batting cleanup, he's today's first baseman. First delivery from Akerfield inside to Cam, 1-0. Cam batted cleanup yesterday, 2 for 4 with an RBI. sends this one hard into right field, and making a leaping catch is Fullerton. Well hit ball off the bat of Harrison, just right at Fullerton, who makes the catch for out number 1 of the second. That'll bring up Grant Schmidt, the right fielder. Had a great series so far. Had a solo shot yesterday, went 2 for 5, and in Friday's game, he went 4 for 5, and has just been tearing it up lately. First delivery to him off speed, misses the zone, 1-0. Schmidt batting .471 on the early season with an on-base percentage of .526. 6 runs scored and 6 runs driven in. Hits this one well to left field, and that's going to be Grant Schmidt's second home run of this series. And he carries that one to left field and ties the game up 1-1 here with 1 away in the second inning. So that ties him with Cam Harrison again at 7 runs driven in and 7 runs scored. The only player with more runs scored is Grant Lung, who has 8. But Schmidt now tied for the runs driven in title for the Hays. Just well hit past that 340 marker in left field. Shallow field, but I think that one might have had a chance to go out even at Larks Park. That brings up Cord Jackson, the shortstop, who started out slow this year and has picked it up really quick. Yesterday going 1 for 5, driving in 2 and scoring 1. It was a 2-run shot to deep center field. It's delivered to him, a called strike. Grant had a great season at Fort Hays, hit 11 home runs, and so far on the year for the Larks, in just 5 games, has 3. And Jackson hits this one to left field. Moving towards it is Grieving, had a bad read on it, slides a little bit, and records the out in fair territory. So they'll bring up Leo Jeminian, batted second yesterday, and has fallen in the lineup after going 1 for 6, striking out 1 time. Larks had some bright performances and some low performances, and the low performances were capitalized on by the Sox. Swing and a miss from Jeminian, 0-1 count on the center fielder, headed to ETSU. Strike 2 called on Jeminian. Jeminian batting .240, has driven in 6 runs and scored 4. Akerfields goes home. Leo sends this one to the right side and is going to drop in foul territory. Due up for the Sox in the bottom of the second, Marino, Manmano, and Yarmer. And Jeminian is going to be down looking. Larks getting a home run off the bat of Grant Schmidt to tie it up in the second. We go to the bottom half, 1-1. Leading off the bottom of the second inning for the Sox will be Brody Marino, the catcher. Munch back to the mound for inning number 2. Struck out 2 in the first inning. Marino out of Oregon Tech, a 5'10 catcher. Munch gets situated on the mound and has a 1-0 count. Lefty versus lefty matchup. Munch delivers from the windup. Changeup hit into foul territory. Marino yesterday 1 for 4 with a strikeout. One and two count. Munch nods at Loomis and goes from the windup. This one a curveball. Looks like it's going to hit Marino. Almost drops into the zone, but umpire says it's inside. So in the last pitch, umpire said 1-2. Now he says 2-1 after that one. This one's fouled back in. Now it's definitely 2-2. Manmano on deck for the Sox with Yarmer in the hole as they look to regain the lead after Grant Schmidt sends a solo shot to left field. Loomis sets up outside. This one's flied into center field. Leo Jiminian ranges back and will make the catch in front of the 360 sign in left center. Munch is now retired 3 straight, a strikeout, a lineout, and a flyout. That brings up Ken Manmano, the center fielder, batting 7th. Manmano, returning from last year's Sox roster, had a little bit of success against the Larks, but the Larks were able to keep him in check in the series last year. He's out at Mesa State University, stands at 6 foot and has a 1-0 count against Trevor Munch. Outside from Munch, 2-0. Brock Loomis, the catcher from Hayes, Kansas. Munch on the mound from Lawrence, Kansas. And Trevor's time at Lawrence got a lot of attention nationally. Was a 21st overall player in Kansas and the 6th left-handed pitcher in Kansas. And that got him a scholarship from Oklahoma. Had a 1.71 ERA and struck out 59 guys in 2016, his senior season. And that year was first team All-League and first team All-State. The year before that, in his junior year, was honorable mention All-State, and he walks Manmano here to put a runner on first with 1 out. First walk of the season for Trevor Munch. That brings up Wyatt Yarmer, the DH. Manmano with the lead at first base. Munch delivers this one low. 1-0 to Yarmer. Yarmer came in and pinch hit yesterday for Copenhagen, who had pinch hit for Beatty. And Yarmer got hit and scored a run. This one's fouled back. One ball and 1 strike to Yarmer with Adams on deck and Grieving in the hole for Colorado. Munch takes a look at Manmano and decides to go home from the stretch. Changeup fools Yarmer a little bit. He's in front of it. Tips it back into the glove of Loomis. 1-2 counts. See how long the Larks want to take Munch today. Didn't throw at all in 2021 before Summer League competitively. This one low. Loomis blocks it with his glove. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Yarmer, the DH. Yarmer out of Western Technical College. Stands at 5'10". Takes some time. Digs back into the right-hander's batter's box. Lefty versus righty matchup. Munch goes home. Fastball, swing and a miss. Munch's 3rd strikeout through 1 2/3. That was just a nice pitch. Munch does a nice job working in his off speeds, and his secondary pitches are good as some people's primary pitches. Runner on first with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. 1-1 game. Bottom of the order for the Sox is Trey Adams, the second baseman, at the dish. First pitch he sees, he grounds it slowly to his third base coach. That's Brooks Urich, the assistant head coach. Do it for the Larks in the third. We're going to take the lead after tying it up in this inning. Henry, Loomis, and Lung. Pearson holding Manmano over at first. Slider from Munch outside. Brock Loomis slides to the right and blocks it. It's game 2 against the Colorado Sox of this 2-game series, and game 3 of a 4-game road series for the Hayes Larks. Loomis sets up outside, and Munch delivers it outside. Adams out of Doane University, where Larks' first base coach and assistant head coach Max McGuire spent a year. This one's hit to right field, and it's going to be a base hit, and Manmano won't go past second as Schmidt hustles in. Third hit of the ball game for the Sox. Manmano at second, Adams at first, and we move to the top of the order. Jacob Grieving, who had a solo shot to get to the bottom of the first going. Adams yesterday 0 for 3 and now starts off his day 1 for 1. Munch looking to get the better of Grieving here after Grieving won their first battle. Nice pitch from Munch over the outside part of the plate for a called strike. It's the 10th hitter the Sox have brought to the plate in this game. First sign from Loomis, Munch nods on, and Munch takes a look at Manmano at second and goes from the stretch. Nice pitch from Munch, slides across the plate and catches the outside corner. 0-2 count on the leadoff hitter for the Sox. Grieving batted 9th yesterday and then moves his way to the top of the order today. Left fielder out of the Air Force Academy, down 0-2 in the count. Swings and misses, and Munch has struck out 4 through 2 innings and sends us to the third inning tied at 1 apiece. Top of the third we go. Leading off for Hayes will be Zach Henry. Henry out of UTA yesterday batted 9th and went 2 for 5. And this is going to be his first look at Carter Akerfields on the mound for Colorado. Loomis on deck and will be followed by Lung There's 3 hitters for the 3rd inning. Akerfields delivers curveball inside, 1-0. Henry on the year batting .250 but has an on-base percentage of .368. Fouls this one straight back and has a 1-1 count. Larks have just 1 hit in the game, but it was a solo shot from Grant Schmidt to tie it up back in the 2nd with 1 away. They've grounded out twice, flew out twice, and struck out twice. This one misses. 2-1 on Henry. Henry hits left-handed. He's out of Rockwall, Texas, and is one of the only guys on the roster to make an appearance in every game this season so far. Fouls this one off the inside of his bat. Larks in a revenge game here against the Sox. Cruised early in the game. We're down 1-0, but a 6-run 4th put them up 6-1. And then going into the 6th, they were up 6-3 and added 2 more runs, and then things fell apart. And Zach Henry is down on strikes for the 6th time on this road series. That'll bring us to the bottom of the order. Brock Loomis out of Butler County. Played for head coach Frank Leo at Hayes High School. Now getting some time with him on the Larks. Spent his 2021 freshman season redshirting for the Grizzlies. First delivery to the 6-1 catcher misses the zone, 1-0 on Loomis. Loomis last year made a couple appearances with the Larks. Had an on-base percentage of .250 with a walk in 4 plate appearances. Fouls this one off, 1-1. This is Loomis's first appearance of the road series, as Brady Evans and Sam Corral have caught the last 2 games for the Larks. This is just Loomis's 7th plate appearance in his 3rd game. This one starts inside, moves to the middle of the plate. 1-2 count on Loomis. And he's way behind this one. Larks have 2 strikeouts, and Akerfields has struck out 3 straight. There's 2 away, nobody on in the top of the 3rd. That brings up Grant Lung, the veteran, out of USF. Lung in his career for the Cougars batted .267 and had a slugging percentage of .380. Still has a year left of eligibility and will return to Sioux Falls for his senior season. He's been a captain the past 2 years for USF, and this is his 3rd year in a Larks uniform. This one inside, 1-0. Lung got the game going, grounding out to Lands on 1 pitch in the 1st. Lung, one of 3 Arizona natives on the roster, sends a ground ball to Nunez, who fields it and throws it to Ackerman at first. 3 up, 3 down for the Larks, just like the 1st inning. We go to the bottom of the 3rd, 1-1 from Colorado. Bottom of the third, leading off is the first baseman, batting second overall in the lineup, Nolan Ackerman. 0 for 1 today was the first strikeout from Trevor Munch in the first inning. This one from Munch, off speed at the knees for a called strike. Munch has struck out 4 and left 3 on base. 1 earned a run through his first 2 innings. Hitting the zone here in the third, 0-2 count on the first baseman. Ackerman from San Mateo Junior College. This one's hit high into left center field. Jominian and Henry move towards it, and Jominian will make the catch in left center for allowed out number 1 of the third inning. Ackerman now goes back to the dugout, 0 for 2 in the day. That'll bring up Roberto Nunez, who singled in the first inning for hit number 2 of the game. Nunez, the shortstop, batting third after batting 6th yesterday. Went 2 for 4 yesterday. Obviously had a grand slam that brought him 4 RBIs and ended up the momentum-changing event of the game. Fouls his first pitch off. This one below the knees for a ball. This one, 2-1 count. Munch, one of 2 guys on the roster to play at Oklahoma, along with Cade Brown, who did not make the trip but is expected to be healthy and ready to go on Wednesday. And this one makes it a hitter's count for Nunez. Munch last year had a whip of just 1.02 and allowed 6 hits over the course of the summer. From the windup, it's Munch's second walk of the game. 1 away, runner on first here in the bottom of the third, 1-1 ball game. Brings up the cleanup hitter, Ethan Lands. 0 for 1 the day was Munch's second strikeout victim of the first inning. Take some time to get reset, and we'll get ready to go with one away. Larks fans, make sure you follow the Larks on Twitter at Larks Baseball or Larks BB. This one's grounded slowly to the left side, and Hutchison lets it roll into foul territory. Like the Larks on Facebook at the Larks, and then make sure you're subscribing on YouTube. Help us reach our goal of 1,000 subscribers. Over 2/3 of our viewers are not subscribed. And when you subscribe and hit the bell icon, you'll get notified each time we go live for every game this season, so you'll never miss a minute of Larks action. It's completely free to watch and completely free to subscribe. Munch takes a look at Nunez, goes home, and this one's popped over to the right side of the field. Grant Schmidt moves back and will make the catch for out number 2. Second flyout of the game to Schmidt in right field. That brings up Maxim Fullerton, who lined out to Munch and broke his bat on the Munch off speed back in the first inning to end that inning. So comes up to the left-hander's batter's box with a new bat and a new approach. Marino on deck if necessary for the Sox, due up for the Larks in the 4th inning in a game we're moving along in. Hutchison, Divis, and Pearson. And making his way to the bullpen for Hayes is Jose Velasquez with his catcher Brady Evans. This one just below the knees, 2 straight balls to Fullerton. Velasquez was originally scheduled to start this game, and then this morning changes were made and it was decided that Munch would get the start. Inside pitch, Fullerton tries to turn his hands in on it and misses. 2 balls and a strike to the right fielder. Punch from the stretch to the Northeast Community College player. This one's grounded to Grant Lung, who eats it and tosses it to Cord Jackson. And the Larks get out of the third inning, still tied at 1-1. We'll be back for the fourth. Top of the fourth, leading off is the Blue Devil from KCK, Palmer Hutchison, who scored 52 runs for KCK this year, drove in 62 and slugged 700 with 19 home runs, led the team in all of those stat categories. His second look at Acrefields, he sends his first delivery out of play 0-1. Hutch on the day 0 for 1 with a strikeout for out number 2 of the ballgame. Moving along here, about 40 minutes into this game, here for the top of the fourth. This one moves his legs out of the way as the cutter goes inside. 1 ball and a strike to Hutch. Davis on deck with Pearson in the hole, due up for Hayes. Marks looking for their 5th one of the season. Slider will catch the outside part of the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hutchison, one of 3 Hayes High alumni on the team, along with catcher Brock Loomis and Trey Riggs, a pitcher who might make another appearance today after throwing yesterday. Riggs threw 1 1/3. Hutch stays alive here, looking to get on board for the first time today. Hutchison, 4 hits on the year, 3 doubles, a single, has scored 4 times and driven in 2. This one doesn't get a swing out of Hutchison. Lets it go outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. In consecutive weeks, Hutchison was named the KJCCC Player of the Week and then was the NJCAA D1 Player of the Week. And he will fly out to grieving in left field for out number 1 of the 4th inning. That brings up Wyatt Divis, grounded out to end the top of the first in his only plate appearance so far of the day. His second look at Carter Akersfields, who has retired 6 straight Larks. Foul tip of Divis, 0-1. Akerfields threw 3 1/3, 1 hit allowed, 1 earned a run, and 4 strikeouts. At one point, struck out 3 straight Larks. Delivery to Divis above the letters. Larks sporting road gray pants for the 3rd time this year. Blue jerseys with the red and white sleeves. White lettering with the red trim. Divis doesn't like that call. Slider catches the outside part of the plate. And Divis now will have to protect. Sends this one to left center field. Manmano and Grieving run towards it, and Manmano will be the one who makes the catch for out number 2. I'll bring up Cam Pearson, 0 for 1 the day, flew out to Fullerton, made great contact with the swing, just Fullerton was right there and made a nice leaping catch. And we'll have time before Acres-Fields delivers. Harrison goes down on strikes here for the last out of the top of the 4th. Acres-Fields has struck out 5 through 4 innings. It's a 1-1 ball game.